What if all 32 NFL teams had to drop their current names and switch to something else?
How about them Dirty Birds? And everybody's like,
That's kind of catchy. That might be a
okay.
little catchy.
And then they showed the highlights of him doing that. It was like, okay, that's a Dirty Bird.
We came up with one fitting new team name idea for all 32 teams by using a mix of humor, history, alliteration, and creativity. Arizona Cardinals, 47ers. Among all active North American sports franchises, the Cardinals have had the longest championship drought, having last won it all in 1947. So why not pay tribute to the franchise's glory years, and for good measure, enrage the NFC West rival San Francisco 49ers by almost stealing their team name. Atlanta Falcons, Dirty Birds. The 98 Falcons came out of nowhere and made an improbable run to Super Bowl 33. That team was known as the Dirty Birds, and star running back Jamal Anderson had an excellent play on it by doing his signature Dirty Bird TD celebration. We have no problem with the name Falcons, but Dirty Birds sounds cooler and more menacing for an NFL team. Baltimore Ravens, Bulldogs. Bulldogs is a popular sports team name for youth, high school, and collegiate teams. It's overdue for a professional sports team to adopt the name, so heck, why not Baltimore's NFL team? Baltimore Bulldogs is a beautiful alliteration, and the team name just feels perfect for a franchise that has always built its identity on ferocious, hard-hitting defenses. Buffalo Bills, Crushers. It's a fierce-sounding team name for a football team, but we also think that it fits the Bills perfectly since they do nothing but crush the souls of their own fans. From losing 4 straight Super Bowls in the 90s to the Music City Miracle to the 13-second game to Wide Right 2, the Bills just don't let their fans have nice things. So hey, may as well make humor out of it, no? Carolina Panthers, Coasters. North Carolina is known for its history of crafting historic battleships, so why not pay homage to the state's rich history there by having a ship-related team name? Carolina Coasters is a crisp-sounding alliteration too. Plus, I mean, it's not like the Panthers is really a team name that's synonymous with historic team success or anything. Chicago Bears, Cyclones. Chicago is known as the Windy City, so why not have a play on the city's nickname here? Chicago Cyclones has a nice sound to it compared to Chicago Bears. We know it's a historic team name and all, but come on, Windy City isn't exactly known for its bear population. Cincinnati Bengals, Bungles. Bungles became a popular nickname for Cincinnati's NFL franchise during the 90s, mostly because the club had slipped to the NFL basement following 2 Super Bowl appearances in the 1980s. Though Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase have restored relevance to the Bengals franchise, this is still a team that keeps choking when it matters most. They didn't win a single playoff game between 1991 and 2020. Cleveland Browns, Dogs. The Browns' nickname is the Dogs, and there is a section of their stadium called the Dog Pound. Honestly, why not just adopt this team name and switch up your logo? The Browns' team name is a tribute to the legendary Paul Brown, we get that. But the team lost its luster years ago, and we hate the boring old logo of a football helmet. I mean, come on. Just retire the Browns name and go with something cooler like Dogs already. Dallas Cowboys, Choke Boys. The Cowboys have been the NFL's biggest chokers since 1996, and that is not going to change so long as Jerry Jones is in charge. Dallas last won the Super Bowl in 1995. They haven't been to the NFC Championship game ever since, and for those who love the Cowboys team name, at least Choke Boys isn't that dramatically different. Denver Broncos, Elways. John Elway left the Broncos organization after the 2022 season, but he's also the entire reason why this franchise has some relevance in the first place. Elway quarterbacked Denver to 5 Super Bowl appearances, leading them to back-to-back titles in the 1997 and 98 seasons. Also, he was the key reason why Peyton Manning chose the Broncos in 2012 free agency. Without Elway's work as an executive, the Broncos wouldn't have won a 3rd Super Bowl in the 2015 season. Without Elway, this Denver team would be absolutely nothing. So I mean, the organization should just pay tribute to the Hall of Famer by swapping out the Broncos team name for Elway's. Detroit Lions, Kneecap Biters. Come on, please do this, Lions, please! Your team name has been synonymous with losing and dysfunction for the better part of the past 60 or so years. Get a logo of Dan Campbell's face with a lion or player biting off an opponent's kneecap. Detroit owes it to Campbell, given how quickly he's turned this franchise around since the infamous bite off a kneecap soundbite. Green Bay Packers, Lombardis. The Packers wouldn't be the historic franchise folks know and love today without the great Vince Lombardi. They named the Super Bowl trophy after Mr. Lombardi, for crying out loud. If the Browns can name their team after Paul Brown, the Packers can do so for Mr. Lombardi. Houston Texans, Huskies. But I mean, come on, naming your team based on your geographical reason? How about some slick alliteration? With the Huskies team name, Houston can retain its normal color schemes and come up with a crafty logo of some sort here. Indianapolis Colts, Stallions. We know Colts has been the team name for forever, but come on, Colts just feels boring and unoriginal. That rolls off the tongue way better, and a Stallions team name would give the Colts a good reason to finally drop that awful horseshoe logo. Jacksonville Jaguars, Relocators. London, Orlando, and Toronto are just some of the many major cities that have been floated as a possible relocation site for Jacksonville. Whether Jaguars fans like it or not, it feels like the rumors and talks about potential relocation will never fully leave Duval County. May as well switch the team name to Relocators and just prepare for the possibility of moving. Kansas City Chiefs, Swifties. Travis Kelce's relationship with Taylor Swift has brought more international attention towards the NFL's model franchise. If Kelce and Swift end up staying together, then heck, why not name the Chiefs the Swifties? And who knows just how much Kansas City's NFL would sell in merchandise by adopting a Swifties team name and logo of the Grammy Award-winning singer. Las Vegas Raiders, Aces. Many fans wanted the NHL's Vegas Golden Knights to instead be named the Aces. Well, the Golden Knights name has grown on most of us by now, and with Aces there for the taking, well, I mean, come on, the Raiders may as well capitalize on the opportunity quick before the Oakland Athletics franchise moves to Vegas and steals the Aces name. Los Angeles Chargers, Blowers. The Chargers are part of the NFL's sad club, aka a franchise that has never won the Super Bowl. They have a long and sad history of blowing close games, just like the Bills and Bengals. But with crushers and bungles off the board in this exercise, how about the Blowers team name? At least Bolts fans can get a good chuckle out of saying, our Blowers blew it again every time they perform a classic Chargers moment. Los Angeles Rams, Spartans. Spartans may be the best team name option that hasn't been picked by an NFL, NBA, NHL, or MLB team. If the Rams decide to switch their team name down the road, how about another menacing team name like the Spartans? They would have limitless options of designing a creative logo that would top the rather lame logo that the organization dons today. Miami Dolphins, Sharks. Dolphins are adorable and such loving creatures, but you're supposed to inflict pain and fear on your opponents in football, so maybe the Dolphins should pick up the name of a much more ferocious and aggressive creature like, I don't know, the Sharks. The last two generations of Miami fans didn't grow up in the glorious Don Shula days, so it's not like there's much historical significance to the Dolphins team name now. Minnesota Vikings, Heartbreakers. Take your pick between the Lions, Vikings, Browns, and Bills as the NFL's saddest fan base. While the Browns and Lions appear to be on the rise, the Vikings do not look to be anywhere close to competing for a Super Bowl. Viking fans have endured so much heartbreak over the last quarter century. The Gary Anderson miss, Brett Favre's interception, the Blair Walsh miss, on and on it goes. Every year ends in heartbreak for Vikings fans. So, Minnesota should follow our suggestion here and try to have some fun with it by adopting the Heartbreakers team name. New England Patriots, Brady's. So, it's pretty clear that Tom Brady meant more to the Patriots dynasty than Bill Belichick, as evidenced by the franchise's fall from grace since TB12's departure. Like the Broncos with Elway, the Pats would have been nothing without Brady. Now, we do love the Patriots team name. It's not a bad idea, though, to swap out that name for the greatest NFL player to ever live, either. New Orleans Saints, Gators. The state of Louisiana is known for its large number of swamps as well as its giant alligator population. Now, alligators doesn't quite roll off the tongue as well as gators, so allow us to take a page out of the Florida Gators book by shortening the name. New Orleans Gators sounds beautiful, doesn't it? New York Giants, Miracle Makers. The Giants weren't supposed to win Super Bowl 25 in the 1990 season with a backup QB and Jeff Hostetler, but that's exactly what they did. They weren't supposed to beat the undefeated New England Patriots in Super Bowl 42, but they did thanks to David Tyree's helmet catch. They weren't supposed to take down Brady and Belichick again in Super Bowl 46, but the 9-7 Giants did just that. The Giants' history of creating miracles to complete special underdog stories should be etched into a new team name. So heck, why not Miracle Makers? New York Jets, Jesters. Hey, it's always a clown show or circus in New York Jets land. Eric Mangini ratting out Bill Belichick in Spygate, Rex Ryan's on soundbites, Mark Sanchez in the butt fumble, this whole Aaron Rodgers saga. I think it's time to fly away from the Jets team name and switch it to something that defines the organization. Jesters. Philadelphia Eagles, Commodores. We personally love the Eagles team name and logo and hope it never has to change. But this exercise forces us to devise a name change idea, so we must comply. Philly is one of America's most historically significant cities, so Commodores works for a team name based in the city where the Declaration of Independence was signed. Pittsburgh Steelers, Pioneers. Pittsburgh's other two major pro sports team names are the NHL Penguins and Pirates of Major League Baseball. So, heck, why not retain the trend of names that start with the letter P? Plus, Pioneers works pretty nicely for one of the NFL's oldest and most historic franchises. San Francisco 49ers, Strikers. Going back to the topic of nice-sounding alliteration, Strikers is commonly used for high school sports team names, but heck, no professional sports team has ever adopted this name. San Francisco Strikers works very nicely in a variety of ways, especially when you picture guys like Fred Warner and Nick Bosa trying to strike at the opposing QBs. Seattle Seahawks, Emeralds. When Seattle was granted a new NHL franchise, Emeralds was floated as a possible team name. And heck, why not? With all its trees, Seattle is known as the Emerald City. And we just can't help but think of the gorgeous emerald color schemes that Seattle's NFL team could come up with. Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Swashbucklers. Hopefully the Buccaneers never have to change their team name, because that would mean dropping the slick logo and getting rid of the pirate ship. So, let's stay on the topic of adventurers who dress lavishly and carry swords. The pirate ship at Raymond James Stadium can stay in place with moderate renovations. Man, I'm just saying, Swashbucklers just sounds so nice. Tennessee Titans, Wolverines. The Titans dropped the Oilers team name in 1999 and switched it to the Titans. Tennessee Titans does have a nice sound to it, but we're not super high on the team name in general. Nor do we really care for the logo or color schemes that much. Wolverines is just a way better team name here. And it would fit the Titans well, since they've always built their identity on winning in the trenches. Washington Commanders, Senators. Many folks wanted Washington to change its team name to Senators before they settled on Commanders ahead of the 2022 season. There is the NHL's Ottawa Senators, and of course the Washington Senators that were an MLB franchise from 1901 to 1960 before they relocated to Minnesota and became the Twins. I just think that Senators works so much better as a team name for a club based in the nation's capital. But hey, if you had to change your favorite NFL team's name, what would you choose? Let us know in the comment section below. If you like this video and learned a thing or two, clicking the like button helps out a ton, and hey, we appreciate it. If this is your first time coming around to TPS though, subscribing is a great idea, because we put out videos like this every single day. But as always, thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys next time.